day 2 of the con, and here's a little thing that I got last night but didn't show. It was on my back of my badge thing. Got an autograph from Black Griffin. I point that out. Would have got one from Michelle Cleaver, but the rules said that she couldn't do it. But I'm hoping to get an autograph from her today, which would be nice. As well as also, it's time is now 9:53 and Paleo's panel starts in about 10:30. So I'll see you there. Waiting in line now for whose line is it? Eddie Pony. Rarity and Rainbow Dash. Yes, it does. It's all it really means. Smile, smile, smile. These happy friends of mine. When sun comes up, it's what the beauty will grow. Winter wrap up, winter wrap up. Winter holiday too. Winter wrap up, winter wrap up. Spring is here. Oh my God! What? Again, that's the second verse. Not this one.
Are we ready?
Hi.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, this is whose line?
I work in the crowd. I like it.
I'm the host, Paleo. I'll be your Drew Carey for today.
I was born in 1990. I'm kidding.
Shut up. Boo. Okay, so before we get started, I'm going to say that if you want to write a scene for Scenes from a Hat, find Tom and just tear off a sheet of paper from that notepad he has and put it in his hat. So, our first game, let me get my notes.
Notice all the people just rushing to go put in a scene for the hat. Uh-oh. They're like, you're gonna make us do some work here? I don't think so.
We won't have any scenes.
Let's keep it PG, please.
80% of the people are gonna sit back. Don't be shy, guys. Go put some scenes in the hat.
Yeah.
Just away.
If you want.
Okay, so our first game is going to be Let's Make a Date, and with that game, one of our participants here is going to be a contestant on a game show where they have to choose a bachelor or bachelorette, and that is going to be Saber, so I need you to follow, I guess, Matt, lead him out, and then I'll tell you when to give him back. So,
What a
he can't know
I miss you
what the
already.
contestants are. Okay. Let me wait until he gets out of this panel room. We're kicking him out.
So we're actually gonna leave him out there till like the end of the game, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He has cake, he'll be fine.
He's actually not a part of this. Okay. Alright, he's out. So, Grace, you are going to be Twilight after absorbing all of the Alicorn magic.
I'm ready.
Black Griffin, you are going to be Pinky switching between her normal self and Pinkamena Diane Pye. And B-Vids, you are going to be an obsessive fanfic writer.
That's the difference. I'm just kidding. Method acting.
Okay, now we need Saber back.
I guess we oughta. You're on your own, buddy. Why? You guys don't want to join me up here?
Oh, there he is. All right. All right, so Saber, you are the contestant asking questions.
Bachelor number 1. I love going on nice trips to the beach. What would you do if we went there together?
Well, if I could. Oh
my!
Reading's fun too.
I was like educating men as well. number 2. If we were to go out and get some dinner together, where would you take me?
Well, I'd probably take you to the shop where I cut people up.
You're a butcher?
Sort of.
Contestant number 3. I'd love to have a family someday. How many kids would you want to have together?
Well, you see, in my 32-page novel that I just wrote, I have my own OC family, and you're not in it, so I don't know what to say.
You can just go ahead and leave right now. Contestant number 1.
Wait. I'm ready.
You like books, right? What's your favorite story?
Well, I mean, it's hard to choose from one because honestly, when you have such an assortment of books as I do, you have bless me. I'm just gonna sit down again.
How many books have you written?
None of yours.
Oh.
Contestant number 2. I love candy. Would you buy me candy on Valentine's Day?
Valentine's Day is a great time for candy. I would buy some for you, depending on how I was feeling. I might make some out of you.
Oh my. Contestant number 3. So you're an author, a writer. Do you know who Emily Larson is?
He's the devil. He's a prolific writer. He's moving up in the world. But he's not in my fanfics.
All right, contestant number 1. You're a schizophrenic Twilight Sparkle.
How dare you?
I guess I was right.
It was close.
You were way
What was it?
No. When I read to you, you will take the book.
You're Twilight Goku. Close enough. What was it?
Twilight after absorbing all the eloquent magic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mister. You are Fluttershy from the shed.
Can you see that's half right?
From the hood.
Same voice actress.
Yeah, the same VA.
Pinkie Pie
Yeah.
from the hood.
Close enough.
From the Cupcakes. That. You're Pinkie Pie from Cupcakes.
Sort. I'm Pinkie Pie switching from Pinkie Pie to Pinkamena. Because, but doesn't she always do that? That's just Pinkie Pie.
I guess I like taking 2 people at the same time anyway. Contestant number 3. You're a disgruntled fanfic writer.
Yes.
So you're just a fanfic writer. That was enough?
Yep.
Good.
All right.
My OC could be your OC.
All right. So for our next game, we're going to need 2 people from the audience. Yeah, you guys can figure out. So the first one is for Beavid and Black Griffin. It's going to be Pinky helping Applejack get ready for the next Apple Family reunion. And Pinky will be Black Griffin and Applejack will be Beavid. So you can use the wired mics for the sound effect.
I don't think you said what we're doing.
What?
What game?
Sound effects.
This game is sound effects, so we need to pick 2 people from the audience. Gabe.
To do sound effects.
Henry, come on, let's go.
Like this.
Who wants to be? Come on. You.
This.
And you. You 2, come on.
And this.
These 2 will provide sound effects for Gabe and Beavis. And what's their role again? What's the roles again for those 2?
Pinky helping Applejack get ready for the next Apple family reunion.
And which one's Pinky?
Like,
You'll provide the sounds for Black Griffin, okay? You'll provide the sounds for him. Oh boy. Are you ready?
Pinkie Pie helping Applejack with the next Apple family reunion.
This is going to be hard on my voice. Unless Pinky's a suave, debonair man. Here we go.
You kind of sound like a dude.
I sure do love the country.
Oh my gosh, Applejack, I love the country too! Because I'm listening to Wolf Candy.
Well, we're gonna have
You have family?
yeah, come from all around.
Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't think people like your travels.
Typically. But, this year, we're gonna have everybody come from.
Hang on a second. I think there's a helicopter coming. Take you a chopper!
Oh my God, it's like damn all over again. It's how my parents died. It's terrible.
Well, now that we're alive.
Oh God, I think it's past.
Me too.
They took out the barn though. We're gonna have to raise another barn. Why do we keep doing this to ourselves?
Because the fans like it. You hear that? It sounds like my grandma.
A lot of snoring and
Yeah. And that rattlesnake.
you might get bit. You better wear some boots.
Oh, you'll be fine. Just look it.
Is Granny Smith throwing up in the bathroom again?
She likes to watch you figure.
Children's
It's a
show.
timberwolf!
Oh God!
This is a really complicated family reunion.
They already ate pretty bird. So.
I like him. Too bad he doesn't like me. Poor girls.
I think.
Splat. Here goes her back leg again.
Sounded like ballistics throwing the beer balls. There's the horn.
Alright, so we're going to do the second round of sound effects, this time with Saber and Race.
Alright, need 2 more guests.
Alright, who wants it? I'm looking. You know what, I'm gonna go with
Saber, you need the wireless.
I am actually gonna go with that.
No, it's different. Alright, so for this scenario, Race is Rainbow Dash, and she is still not convinced that Discord is reformed.
Hello, Rainbow Dash. Apparently, angel bunnies around here.
I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. I will never believe that you will ever be good.
I'm a nerd. Egghead.
Not eggheaded. If you would just...
Let me turn the TV off. So what are you doing here in my house?
Your house?
My house.
I believe this is Fluttershy's house.
It's my house now.
You guys living together?
It's complicated. But you come to question if I've been informed or not. Hopefully this will answer your question. I need a bigger gun. It's loud. It's a big... It's a magic
bullets. I'm starting to become a little bit more convinced now, actually. You know what? You want to play this game? I'm down with this. I'm down with this. Let me try again. Do you want to play again? Well, I want to show you my new weapon. It's this massive bullwhip. Showing. Put your belt back on. Wait till you hear the crack on this whip. Now you're using rubber bands. So what are you gonna do? You're here in my house accusing me of being evil again.
Accusing as if you don't deserve it.
I deserve many things, but we don't want any. I am many things. But my heart beats for you, Rainbow Dash. There might be other shy of this also in this family. Listen deep, the sound of my heart. I'm not a ghost.
All right, for this one, we're going to need to set up a little bit. So while we're doing that, remember, seize from ahead, find Tom.
Oh boy. Is this what I think it is? Oh no.
So, I have to help too, otherwise I'd do something stupid to keep you entertained.
So for those of you who don't know,
entertain.
for those of you who don't know, helping hands is when two of our participants here can't use their hands. This is going to get very messy.
Things are starting to get Things are gonna get messy.
So how's everyone doing out there?
You're being too generous.
Your guys are awesome! That's true, Carrie! No offense! At least he has the glasses. He's got too much hair. It don't matter! Paleo, good point. Why sounds weird out?
One moment.
See, unfortunately, we don't have the benefit of commercial breaks. So,
Make one up!
eat your Wheaties and Rainbow Dashes, so.
Someone do a Billy Mays!
Another fantastic cough. These hands will do the work for you. You'll never need to bleach your clothes again. You won't have any clothes to bleach.
All right, for this scenario, it's Mr. and Mrs. Cake having a quarrel while baking a cake for Rainbow Dash's birthday.
Well, I wish you would have
told me we needed to do this 3 hours ago.
I don't know why you have to be so serious. Okay, you know, I don't know, we're just bakers here and we're
Just bakers? Did you say just bakers, honey bun? You know that Equestria would not stand on its own without bakers making all the candy for the ponies to eat so that they're hyper.
Your pony Parkinson's is acting up.
I asked you nicely not to talk about that.
I told you we would have been fine if we just kept cooking for Mr. Heisenberg, okay?
Excuse me.
I'm hungry.
That's for Rainbow Dash. Okay, I'll have one.
No wonder we never make any money.
We make enough.
I'm so fat.
Something on my face. Thank you. I feel like this is leading to something else. Look familiar?
I could use some whipped cream.
We're not putting this in the cake, are we?
Well, I mean, it was Rainbow Dash's orders.
She's a little bit strange.
Remember when we first met, you bought me
Flowers? I do remember that. And you had the whipped cream. This is just like when we first met, except without the unicorn and Pegasus that you were hanging out with.
Do you remember when you used to spill all that tea all over us last year? I want a divorce, okay?
No! No! We're pregnant with our third! I mean, you are, right?
It's been a rough year.
It's been 3 years, actually. That's a long gestation period. I'm a little concerned.
We're bakers, okay? I eat a lot of chocolate.
I know, that's why pumpkin cake's not talking. Boy, I could use a bite of that sausage. Yum. Sure. Is this the sausage you...
I didn't want any.
You know how much I like whipped cream up with. That looks familiar. Oh, yeah.
Maybe some sprinkles.
That would be appropriate.
You've already ruined the cupcakes. You do that well.
Thank you. I ruined the cupcake well. Delicious.
How do we make any money? I don't understand.
I take pride in being a clean eater. Do you want some? I don't know if Rainbow Dash is going to like this cake very much, but I'm sure enjoying it. Now all
All the time.
Now all I need is a toothbrush.
You can use those candles.
Maybe I should grab a bucket.
My patented donut icing cake is almost ready.
Yes! I'm excited!
These donuts
Let's
need
jog!
cakes.
All right, I suppose we've...
Wait, we've got to put the cake in the oven. So,
That thing will come out looking just like a chocolate cake, I have a feeling. I love our convection oven.
box and everything.
You're welcome, it's magic.
I could sell this for $11.95.
I think you can sell it for more. That's the oven. Me too. How many bites did Rainbow Dash order to be already eaten out of it?
realize you had a Siamese twin.
Who's gonna eat the flower?
I want a divorce. I could. I love you guys.
We're just gonna have.
So far.
I always told Mom I don't need napkins.
That's the one thing we forgot. Napkins.
My doctor told me I'm not supposed to get cake in my eye.
Diabetes.
By the way,
Up before I can take a cupcake in my eye.
by the way, each of you get 1,000 points.
Probably pay off this best in college loans.
I never
We're
went
waiting
to
for some
college.
napkins. We're on to the next game.
Yes. I'll be in the shower. Does anyone want a donut? Are we allowed to do this?
Well, one way to find out. Just toss it like a frisbee. See who catches it.
Let's get ready to crumble.
I always feel bad about this stuff because I'm like somewhere in Africa with a scarf. Is this new masseuse thing he's got going on? We just do some modern capital spaces.
Come on, bed. Oh, that helped.
Good. Got what's about to here.
Oh no, this is fun. The cake is ruined.
The cake is a lie!
I know. No, we have plenty of volunteers. That's true.
There was a reason why I was the hands and not Mr.
Oh.
Hey, you should auction that shirt off.
Think? This one? It's dinner too. Further proof that people will buy anything.
You probably should have had Taco Bell. Or North Chocolate. Thank you.
I just hope that, like, if someone's watching this, they skip to the end and they're just like, I don't even want to know what happened to him. Okay. All right. Yeah. Good. So, Drew Carey.
Yes?
Who lost a lot of weight in the last couple of years.
I know. It's the paleo diet. He made the joke he hates the most. That's a smarter joke there.
What's the next game?
The next game is Irish drinking song. Yes, I need a suggestion from the audience, which is, or I need to ask the audience a question. Name something that would be terrible to get as a cutie mark. Okay, I heard pants. Pants. Pants, yes.
Pants. You don't know what pants are? You don't know what
We
pants are?
practiced this yesterday.
All right, so
Table pants?
playing our piano is Matt, or you may know him as DB Pony.
Nice apron. Thank you. I got it on eBay. All right, guys.
Do this.
Pants. Cutie mark pants. I finally got my cutie mark. It was made of pants. Then I did a little dance.
And then I said, the Smiths.
I don't really understand why I got that one. It was really dumb.
I thought it'd be a fun.
Oh, I'm really disappointed, and it's on my bum.
It really bummed me out. How did I get that one?
When they find my kidnap, I didn't do that.
People call me Ira. I didn't hear your rhyme. Oh,
And I went to the store.
they said to me,
Why do you look like that? I am really Steve. And I went to the store.
yes.
I like a more. Oh,
The song's falling apart now.
we kind of knew it would. Actually, we called that just look at my pants.
I don't know why you're in the audience. Thanks for bringing it back.
I really like the song. Cutie mark no pants. Oh,
Die!
So, 100 points to Race. He did the best.
Yeah. With my gibberish nonsense making.
So, we're gonna do one more for an Irish drinking song.
Okay.
Thank God!
Yeah.
For the record, that's the farthest we've ever made it in that song. We're like, oh, wait, who rhymes with what? Who starts? That happened like 3 times.
Okay.
Breaks my gibberish.
So, for the audience, name something that you'd be terrified to face in the Everfree Forest.
Creepers! Nicolas Cage!
I heard M.A. Larson.
He's here, isn't he? He's always watching. He's always watching. All ready?
Nope.
So the Irish singing song about meeting Amy Larson in the Everfree Forest.
I'm not afraid of anything. Well, maybe one. It's the same Larson.
That's all I was done.
Maybe I get through it. You really hurt my feelings. Now I got 2 weeks.
And I have the shillings.
This guy's a menace. He should be stopped.
He's the absolute worst.
I'm gonna call the cops. He gave Twilight wings. Now she's a princess.
I hate the show now. It sucks.
That was the Beyond Drinking song.
I give each of you half a point.
What?
1,500. I'm good with this. It's more than my SAT score.
10,000 points to Larson.
I can only add 3 million now. 10 points for Gryffindor.
Okay, so our next game is Scenes from a Hat. So.
Gabe, I think you have something on your face. Thank you. I've been growing it for months.
All right.
Oh, these pants were new. What were they? They were actually. What a big hat.
You know where a washer is?
Not here. In California. Mom! Is she watching the stream? I'm excited.
Pinky as Peanuts from Jeff Dunham's Puppets.
Who's Peanuts? Who's Jeff Dunham? Who's Peanuts? Okay, it's a ventriloquist act, so that means someone has to have their hand there and be talking. Which one is the I'm not first. Go to the other one. I'm Pinkie Pie. Rating drop. Get in trouble. Roll the door.
Just something really offensive. We're not doing that one.
Oh, no. Derby on 3 Red Bulls.
Who's doing? I can see the 5th dimension. My eyes are straight now. A 3-day delivery is now a 1-day. I can speak! You can't catch me, Hasbro! You can't catch me! They got me! But the chocolate can! My pants are ruined!
Okay. Pinkie Pie surrounded by 3 cake monsters.
After you, I'll eat every single one of you. Hello there. Let's please step this way. Into the door. 400 degrees. 15 minutes. I'm not giving him cake, I'm assaulting him with cake.
Alright, Princess Celestia and Princess Luna meet Solrak.
He's so loud, sister! What? He's so loud. What? Ah!
A guy telling his parents that he's a brony.
I'm sorry. Actually, I haven't done this yet, so I have no idea. I'm sorry. Mom and Dad, you know that I'm a Rhodes Scholar. And I know you're proud of me.
Training at the Wonderbolt Academy.
Right.
None of us have done this.
Grow wings.
Give me 20! 1! 2, let's make this harder. 3! What do you mean an Earthphone can't enter?
What M.A. Larson is really thinking.
Milk this for all it's worth.
gonna kill him.
Hey guys, just so you know, my new novel Penny Dreadful is it's in Amazon right now. You should go buy it.
I can't believe they hired me and fell for it. Just how many wings can we fit back there? Ooh, this will really take them off. Let's give Applejack 4 more legs.
Okay. Okay, so everybody, I'm assuming everybody is going to be the main 6, gets turned into a sea pony.
Why couldn't we have done this next to a lake?
I really hate my life. Curse you, Hasbro!
All of the alicorn magic has accidentally been given to Lightning Hoof.
That's how it goes.
I feel so much less powerful than I usually am.
Here's another one. It's kind of similar, but M.A. Larson decides you need wings.
But we already had Red Bull. We got the ponies. What's Spike doing? It's like doing surgery over there.
Well, to be fair, we did say it had to be kid friendly.
You'll be an excellent librarian someday.
Is it possible to give?
We can't do that one.
Rarity asking Spike for dating advice.
Spike, you know I love you. I was wondering if you'd do me a favor.
Yeah.
I really like this other pony. Do you have any dating advice you could give me?
I really hate my life. That's fine, Rarity. Whatever you say. Just go away. Hi, Rarity.
Being the first human in Equestria.
Saberspec already did that.
I wonder if there's any oil here. Does anyone have some sunglasses? They're honestly a lot taller than I thought they would be.
Some of these are like scenes from the show, like word for word.
So? I wrote that one.
Angel Bunny falls in love.
Oh, come to me, you sweet greens. Bugs Bunny, that's his name.
They may say it's wrong, but I love you, Carrot.
Grace and Saber doing impersonations of each other.
My camera!
What's the difference? I'm obnoxious.
Sweetie Belle presents her home-cooked meal to Princess Celestia.
Am I Celestia?
Yeah!
Who's sweet go?
Hello, my loyal subject. What's that you have in the cup? A burnt Hot Pocket. In a dirty microwave. For you. Delicious. Eat it, please. No! Why'd you throw it on the ground? Oops. Oops, indeed. I worked a really long time on cooking this phoenix, but I don't think it really fully cooked.
It's a cake. I may have forgotten to bake it though.
You want your dragon eggs scrambled or sunny side up? Hey, Spike!
I was talking to the cows the other day and I invented a new meal. I call it a cheeseburger.
Now wait a minute, nobody told me cannibalism was a problem. Okay, last one. What Derpy is thinking? This has been censored by Hasbro.
I'm Derpy. Why bubbles? Actually, it seems like you guys know. They must never know that I'm diabetic.
I like how he's still looking in the hat, like, there's gotta be, there's gotta be no, like, I love that hat.
Suggestions?
Well, yeah.
You?
Rainbow Dash and Scoots telling everyone that how awesome they are.
Rainbow Dash and Scoots.
I am pretty awesome.
But you can't fly.
That doesn't mean I can't be
You'll never fit in.
Sweetie Belle, getting her cutie mark.
Voice crack.
Oh, is that glue?
Is that a burnt piece of toast? The color white?
Yeah, keep going. We still got 7 minutes.
Scootaloo learning how to fly.
Yeah, I get the wings.
Okay.
Flufflepuff eats Derpy's muffins.
I prefer toast roast. Well, so we have a couple minutes, right?
You want to stand sit by now?
Oh,
What do I do?
I was gonna say,
Improv comedy.
just be funny.
We're trying.
I'm not good at that. Well, we're kind of well
Do you
early.
want to try one last Irish drinking song?
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
What? All right.
Guys, Octavia walks in on a broken cello and vinyl scratch.
Wait, one more time?
He said Octavia walks in on a broken cello and vinyl scratch.
This relationship is over. It already was. One more Irish drinking song?
Yes.
Didn't even sound good when I dropped the bass.
I think instead of Irish drinking song, I think it'd be fun if you played something and we just improvised from our souls.
Really? Okay. I'll start. Sylvie was my idea.
Something beautiful, something beautiful. It means this is, yes, what I'm about to say means a lot to me.
It's honestly the best time of my life. I saw them there
we doing?
Fine, how about you?
I'm doing great. I'm at a pony convention.
I can see why.
You can go over.
Have you heard of the Traveling Pony Museum before?
Yes, I have.
Well, as you know, we have a lot of artists donate to us and provide their inspiration for others, so maybe even inspire others to be able to create art. Oh, look, there's Mike the microphone. No, he's behind you. He's the one with the weird backpack thing over there. He's got the entourage around him, huh?
That white thing over there?
Yeah, that's fine.
Voice actor panels with start. What's Google Russian? Those are actually excellent panels.
We had Amy Keating Rogers sneak through here earlier as well. I don't like to point him out usually, but Mike's gets into the crowd pretty easily. When he wears the backpack, it's a sign that says, "Hey, I'm here." Because that's usually how people spot him. Hi, how you doing? But these are all 12 of the doctors, Dr. Hooves. We have a cheese sandwich here with his little boneless.
And then
Discord. This one here is a 3D printed sandstone sculpture, including the little Pinkie Pie. The larger statue is all handcrafted using clay and wireframe. The artist took 6 months to make that, and she said never again.
So it was kind of a bad experience.
It was just long and tedious, and it took too long. She ended up selling it for $500 before it got donated to the museum.
And these are all modified brushables?
These are all modified brushables, yes. I think the clay ones look better personally.
And then handmade plushies over here.
We have the plushies over here, yep. We have Lyra, of course, nice little Cadence in her loving husband, Shining Armor.
Twilight.
And yes, her
Derpy.
Derpy here has a removable muffin with magnets right here, including her letter. She has a voice box inside of her. If you give her a hug, she actually says, "I don't know what went wrong," in the original voice. Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
Okay. Just get close. It's really hard to hear. It's probably hard to see her, but basically it's a sample from the show when she said that the very first time, when all the bronies freaked out saying, "Derpy talks!"
And then Nightmare Moon.
Nightmare Moon here, of course. We have a little Spike. And here's our OC for the museum, Aethernaut. She actually pilots the airship to get us from one location to the other. She actually got us here on time this time, but she didn't quite get the team over in New Jersey quite there right. I may have to chastise her later for that. And back behind here we have a little Aloysius with a fully rotating neck.
And then Fluttershy.
Fluttershy. We have a Night Guard.
And then Applejack.
Applejack, yep.
And then CMC fan art.
Yep. Light art. Beautiful stuff, isn't it? Be inspired, create something.
It's panels like this. I like the things that work. So I'm just going to be behind the door taking notes.
Time guy, good to go?
All right, we're good.
Awesome. Good afternoon, everypony. Welcome to the Minor Characters panel, making the most of minor characters. Who is having a good day today? Woo! I am so glad to hear that because I spent 9 hours in security yesterday and I'm just kind of zoned out. So if I say anything that doesn't make any sense, call me out on it. We'll try to explain ourselves. What was that? I'll slow down, don't worry. And there's someone behind us playing a game. All right. We're going to be talking today about some of the minor and supporting characters we see in My Little Pony, how they really add to the world, and why they're so awesome. A little bit of background about me. My name is Vivid Syntax. You can call me Sin if that's easier for you. I've been involved in fandoms since like around 1996. My family got a computer and I thought The Lion King was like the coolest thing in the world. Yeah. Started writing terrible one-page fan fictions about like Scar and Beast rebuting the Beast, beating up hyenas. It was a good time. And I've been doing fanfics on and off ever since. Tried to dip into art once, didn't get much success there, but I really care a lot about background characters. I think they add a lot to the world, and I'm just happy to be here. All right. So, one of the things that I really love about the show especially, and I think that Hasbro is a good direction that Hasbro's been taking is, you know, Hasbro is first and foremost, they're a toy company. They want to make these things to market to people, and when you have a large cast of characters, you've got more toys. And if you look back at like the 1980s, you'd see some of the old G.I. Joe. Does anyone know anyone G.I. Joe fans? Anyone know who Chuckles is?
Guy named Chuckles.
Chuckles. There was an old G.I. Joe who had a Hawaiian shirt on, no accessories or anything. He was just named Chuckles, and he was an undercover G.I. Joe. It was just basically your dad, the action figure. And it just and it shows you that, like, you know, back then it was just kind of a, oh, you know, we'll slap a brand name on it and that'll be it. That's a character, kids will buy it. But you look at My Little Pony now and you see that the fan favorites, the characters that people are reacting to, the ones that people really love are the ones that are getting toys, and they're being careful with the continuity, and they're doing and sometimes giving these characters a voice when otherwise they wouldn't, you know, they wouldn't have one. I'm looking at you, Derby Hooves.
Vinyl.
Vinyl Scratch, yes.
Scratch, yes.
Or DJ Pong 3 is in one.
Either one.
I don't know where people fall
One's
in.
a stage name. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm going to get fact checked today. All right. So, like I said, I've got a couple things I want to talk about, but then we'll open it up to some panel discussion. I like smaller, more intimate panels where we can talk about things. People can squee about their favorite background ponies. We'll talk about which ones are the best. Soren. But I'm going to start out with kind of deconstructing a little bit of what we see with the character Big Macintosh. Are you all familiar with Big Macintosh?
Yep.
Thank you. I was afraid you were all going to miss your line. Yes. No. All right. So, one of the first times that we see Big Macintosh being an actual character, we see him talking to Applejack. He's got his ribs bandaged. He's injured somehow. And we hear him say his famous "yup" for the first time. And one of the biggest things that supporting characters have to do is to work as sometimes a foil and sometimes a way to highlight the main characters. Because as much as we love background ponies, they're there to serve kind of a higher purpose, to make the world more alive and to make the relationships much more interesting. We see the interplay back and forth with Applejack saying, you know, oh yeah, I can buck all these apples. And Big Mac gets his lines, but you're still just one pony, and one pony plus hundreds of apple trees just doesn't add up. The fancy mathematics line, as it's known. So we get a little bit of insight into his character there. You know, even just with that one line, Peter Newton does a marvelous job of inserting tons and tons of personality into every yep, every nope, every, you know, Hearts and Hooves Day special.
Oh God, no.
Oh God, yes.
Sorry, that was painful.
It was, but I
Painfully good.
Painfully good, yes. We have positive attitudes here. But when you're looking at a character like that, you can see, you know, Big Mac he's a common sense character. He's looking at, you know, as opposed to Applejack, who is ready to take on anything. She's gonna do whatever it takes. Big Mac is willing to step back a little bit and say, you know, maybe you should think about this before you get in over your head, which she, of course, goes to do because conflict is central to storytelling. But again, you get to see these minor characters talking and reflecting and making the other main characters better. Speaking of other minor characters, there's one character that I think everyone loves. He's a purple reptile. He makes everyone feel better. I'm of course talking about Stephen Magnet. The sea serpent with a fabulous mustache. I love Stephen. But in the pilot episode, we see him too. It's a great character. I don't think we've seen really any other sea serpents since then in any of the comics or anything else. But it's a great way to build the world up a little bit, and we get to see Rarity shine in that example of just, you know, giving up her tail to fix the mustache of this random stranger because it's really important to him. So we've got background ponies that are able to highlight the main six. But that's not all they do, of course. They've got a lot to give in terms of, you know, personalities in and of themselves. You know, I think everyone remembers the first time they went onto one of the wikis and just learned everything they could about their favorite background pony. Have you guys explored the wikis, by the way? It's just huge. It's just absolutely nuts. Like, you can go to the list of Earth ponies and there's like, oh yeah, the pony that was was at the Grand Galloping Gala for 2 frames. They have a name and a backstory, and they showed up in this other episode, but they had wings. It's very, I think it's a testament to the fandom and their, we'll say thoroughness. A lot of creativity, a lot of thoroughness, a lot of ability to throw themselves at this fandom, to get excited about it, and say, yeah, what was that?
Headcanons.
Headcanons. Well, we'll get to headcanons later, don't you worry. But there's tons and tons of information out there, and if you're like me and you're a fanfic author, or you're doing art, or you're doing music, I think to some extent it still works, and you're thinking about the different characters, there's tons of resources out there that you can do to help learn a little bit more about these characters. I also recommend looking up some pony analysis videos. There's a marvelous, marvelous video maker. His name is Dr. Wolf. Any fans here? Yes. Woo! He does it. You guys know he does.
His channel is back.
His channel is back. Yeah, it got taken down for a little while, right?
Yeah, scary.
But he does all these different analysis videos of different ponies, breakdowns. He does breakdown episodes. He brings on special guests from other people in the fandom. Dr. Wolf, check him out. He did an episode on Big Macintosh after season 2, I think is where it was. So I do steal a couple of ideas from him. But when you're, if you're writing a fiction, for me, I read a lot of this stuff, and it's sometimes painful to read when you're reading a story and there's a character that you care about and you think it's really cool, and they're not acting the way that they usually would, that they would in the show or in the comics or whatever canon you're following. If they start, if Big Mac goes off on astrophysics, unprovoked, and just starts giving a lecture, you're going to stop and say, huh. I mean, I'll still give it a thumbs up, but and so I encourage you, when you're starting to read into ponies, there's tons and tons and tons of content out there. People, read other fictions, look at other pictures. People have done the work for you, is really what I'm saying, and it turns out absolutely marvelously. Another thing to be looking for when you're using these characters, with Big Mac, he's got his E up, and it's easy to think, that's all he ever really does. That's his line. That's who he is.
Yeah, the show's sort of gone that way themselves lately.
Sort of, but to counterpoint, if you look in the episode Pony Confidential, where the Cutie Mark Crusaders are, they take on the persona of Gabby Gums, and they start writing, very embarrassing stories about every pony else in the Ponyville. It's almost a throwaway gag, but I think it says a lot, where the Cutie Mark Crusaders are confronting Applejack and Big Mac, and Apple Bloom is being adorable and saying, "You're not even going to talk to us?" And Applejack says, "Nope." And eventually Big Mac comes back and finally says something, says, you guys should be ashamed of yourselves, you shouldn't be embarrassing us, we don't want to talk to any of you guys right now, so just go away! I love that line. And that really says something about the character. Yes, he's quiet. Yes, he doesn't always speak up. But when someone that he cares about is being harassed, is being bothered, and he gets really, really angry, he is willing to step outside of that comfort zone. So anyway, we're now in season 2. My other favorite thing with Big Mac and some of the other characters is those little tiny moments that you get to see where they have a little bit of added depth. In, I believe the episode is Lesson 0. Everyone know what's Big Mac's new favorite toy?
Smarty Pants.
Smarty Pants. That was a brilliant character moment where Big Mac is trying to. What was that? The want it needed spell, but it wears off, and Big Mac he still loves it. He loves small cute things. He wants to play with this thing, and that tells us again a lot about the character. You can take that in a couple different directions. You can go, and you can throw more magic in, and there's a lot you can build off of. There's an excellent fanfic out there called Smarty Daddy by, I'm going to butcher this, Akumoka Getsu. Very prolific fanfic writer. She has over 120 stories now. Yeah, right. And she just started like a year ago. So just making the rest of us look bad. But it's this character study, and it's the story of, well, what if Smarty Pants came alive for one day? For one day, and it's the interactions of Big Mac. You get to see him care about something he's attached to, and you get to see him show him kind of go through the roller coaster of emotions of first being kind of standoffish, not knowing what to do, and slowly, realizing that it's something that he cares about, something that he needs to protect no matter what. highly recommend it. It's pretty short fix, about 3,000 words, I think. Smarty Daddy, do check it out. So when you're looking at characters, look for all those little moments. Look for those little things that are important to them. One of my favorite background ponies, or supporting character background ponies almost, is Brayburn from Over a Barrel. Any Brayburn fans here? Just one. Okay, we'll hang out later.
We haven't seen him too long. You have to really.
We need more of him.
We do need more of him.
I'll get in that one.
Yes. And I mean, we got to see him a little bit at the end of season 4. Not too many spoilers, but when you just see him there, just kind of cowering.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Apple family reunion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but again, he's as far as the background as possible.
Like I said, very thorough fandom.
We all watch this show way too much, probably.
No such thing. Especially if you're doing creative works and you're doing character analysis and breakdown, there's really not such a thing as watching the episode too much.
Then you gotta watch it like 20,000 times.
Right, I mean that's one of the things that I try to do with my fix, or when I try to do art, is you watch the episodes more and more, and every time you watch it, the writers do an excellent job. I know M.A. Larson and Amy Keating-Rogers especially, they write some of my favorite episodes. They put a lot of thought into what the characters are doing, what they're saying, and the rare opportunities that you do see some of the more minor characters, their personalities are consistent. There's a lot you can learn by watching over and over again. So watch more episodes. I'm sure you'll all hate that, but it's just a sacrifice you'll have to make.
Oh, yes.
Terrible
Stuff like the trade, it's not really canon, but stuff like the trading cards, there'd be like, on the backs, there'd be little information on stuff. So, one particular, I think like the Smarty Pants doll has like, apparently he's in charge of the accounting. Like Big Mac gave him a job.
Big Mac gave him a job. That's adorable. Nice. I want to write that story now too. So yeah, again, there's tons of different ways to get ideas, to read more into the characters, and now we're doing time. 10 minutes. I'm talking too long about stuff. All right. Anyway, but yeah, the minor characters they reflect the good character details of the main characters, and then they have a lot of depth themselves. Next thing is something that we see a lot in season 3, which is world building. One of my favorite episodes. Oh no, I'm thinking about I want to jump ahead to season 4. Whatever. We'll jump ahead to season 4. One of the coolest things that I saw in season 4 was the episode Rainbow Falls. That's the episode where they're all going to Rainbow Falls. It's for the Equestria Games. They're doing the qualifying rounds. And I remember just watching them pull up in the train, and then there's all these ponies, and there's griffins everywhere, and there's this new location we've never heard about, and it's just like, oh, man! I can't say that word. But some of you know what I'm talking about. But with all these background ponies there, with all these different characters, just lying around, some of them stretching, you get the ideas turning, and you start to realize there's so much more to this world that we haven't explored yet. Cora comes from. She's obviously got tons of personality. There's obviously a hugely different culture there, one different enough to the point that it scares every pony in Ponyville the first time they see it. But we still don't know much about it. So when you add these background ponies in, you get to kind of open up the possibilities and get the gears turning. And I think that's part of what helps power a lot of the fandom that we see. People have these ideas. They see these other minor characters as well, and they say, "Yeah, I have an idea about how this could go down." And it's fine, because it's not canon, they haven't explored it yet, you're not going to be wrong. And it's a very supportive community. How many of you guys are content creators here? You write, you draw, you make music? Awesome, so you guys know, if you write stuff, hopefully you have experienced this too. When you put something out there, response is usually positive. People are sometimes less willing to critique stuff. I wish they'd be a little bit harsher to me personally, but people are willing to say, hey, great job, give you the thumbs up, you're doing like, I really like this, you're expanding the community, you're expanding the world that we're all fans of. And I think the minor characters really, really help to be a part of that. Again, in Rainbow Falls, the things with Sora and the Wonderbolts, we've seen the Wonderbolts over and are you rolling your eyes at that?
No,
Sorry. No, not a problem. I just love the Wonderbolts so much. Oh, yeah. We get to see them in a few different contexts. Sometimes, being really awesome stunt ponies, sometimes being called in for military purposes and being sort of incompetent. but they get these character moments. We get to see Spitfire, who in the Wonderbolts Academy is, you know, a strong leader. She cares a lot about everyone is going to be the best. I'm going to do everything to make sure you're the best. If you're not, get out of here. But then we also in Rainbow Falls get to see Spitfire being a little bit more conniving about it. She wants to be the best, but it's not always with through honorable means. She's willing to be a little bit underhanded. You know, tell Soren, hey, no, we really don't need you right now, and tell Rainbow Dash, no, Soren's out. He doesn't, you know, he's not going to be able to fly. A couple of the cool things that they can do with some of these background ponies. In the episode Tradia, where they go actually back to Rainbow Falls for the big trading convention, do you guys know the story of Stellar Eclipse?
Yeah.
Yes. The pony that's in line for the Hayburgers, he's got the wheelchair things. That was actually it was a Make-A-Wish kid who was from France, I think.
I don't know where he's from.
Don't know. Didn't really see a lot of details, but it was a way for someone who was a huge fan of the show. I believe he had a spinal disorder and muscular dystrophy. Thank you. And they were able to put him into the show. You know, again, because they have this rich background. You know, the kid he got to voice the character himself. It was his own OC design. Yeah, that was him. Yeah. And that's the thing. When you create a rich world where there's tons and tons of ponies, a lot of people didn't even notice. I've talked to a lot of people and I say, hey, you know, what do you think of Stellar Eclipse? I thought that was really cool. Who? You know, the pony with the wheelchair and everything. I just thought it was a regular background pony. So, yeah, really cool stuff.
So well, it's like anytime you see disability in a show like that normally, they flip their lid and make you feel about it, but it was like so natural.
And again,
you wouldn't notice it unless you paid attention.
That speaks to how much care goes into all these different characters because it all flows really, really smoothly. And we don't have chuckles in My Little Pony. Let's see. Other things, you know, they do. The writers and the animators, they do fun little fan service type things. Are there any Whovians here? Did you guys just flip your lid and get Annie's and Breezy's?
And the Breezy's, yes.
When Time Turner walks by and he's got the glasses on? Oh my gosh!
That was a situation of
Rewind.
What?
I knew it was canon before that one and whatever it was.
Hearts and Who's Day, they did have a little scene where they had the Doctor and Rose standing together.
I mean, there was nothing special. There was no 3D
There was
glasses.
also
Tied, but
there was also the flag one. I'm trying to think of the name, but where Skidlow is going with the Crusaders up the Crystal Empire.
Sorry, that's what I meant. I meant Hearts is strong.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
One bad scene where we see him wearing bow tie, dressed with his hair, and he's got a parka on, which are several alludings to the series.
Yep. So if you're not familiar with Doctor Who, it's that fandom bleeding into the My Little Pony fandom a little bit. Sometime early on in season 1, we saw Time Turner. He's the brown pony with the spiked up mane. He's got the hourglass cutie mark. So, someone said, yeah, right there actually. Thank you.
Is it fans that gave him a tie? I don't remember. I think fans is
the fans gave him the tie to yeah, because he didn't have anything initially.
He didn't have the tie.
Sound British.
Yep. But the thing is, someone looked at that and said, oh, that looks exactly like David Tennant as a pony. David Tennant is the actor who, at the time, played this character of Doctor Who, or the Doctor, sorry. And you know, that really caught on within the show. You know, a lot of the writers and staff there are kind of huge nerds, and that's great. Because it helps feed the fandom, and you get to see, you know, and they throw in little nods to that, little nods to the fandom here and there. Someone pointed one out to me yesterday, which was the what's the episode where they visit Goldie Delicious? Pinky Apple Pie. Pinky Apple Pie.
Oh, the Slender.
Slender Pony? Slender Pony's in there?
In the very end scene there, literally like 3 or 4 frames in the background, the very great part.
I almost got abducted by Slender Pony and I didn't even know! If he shows up behind me, do someone say something, because I want to go to the rest of the con. Yeah. Wow, no, that wasn't what I was talking about. That's terrifying. Cool.
Yes,
no, cool. I was talking about someone pointed this out to me, when they get to Goldie Delicious's house, do you guys know who Dusty Cat is?
Yeah.
Dusty Cat is a member of the fandom, and there's I forget what the leading up line is, but Goldie Delicious she's a crazy cat lady, and she has a dusty cat that she blows off and just blows away. And it was just and if you look, there's a couple little other little continuity nods and nods to the fandom that show, again, these people really do care about their fans and what they're like.
Sad to see that happen by giving them more freedom in the writing.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I do want to, again, with some of the background things, in season 3, in the episode Just for Sidekicks, there was kind of a blink and you'll miss it moment. Big Mac just walks by with Cheerilee, just for a second.
Oh, we never talk about that. What about Philly Vanilli, where she faints in the audience?
Yeah,
Yes.
Big Mac singing.
Yes.
Singing.
Well, Big Mac singing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
There's gonna
that's
be-
where Big Mac character
This
expansion,
was perhaps a joke at the end.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so,
where he was able to say yup in an entire conversation with Applejack of what was going on.
Right, kind of almost like a normalization of the character. So again, when you're no, it's totally fine. When you're aware of those things, the show writers are obviously aware of these different character interactions. They want to keep it going because they again care about the continuity. When you pay attention to a lot of the stuff that's going on in the background, you're going to catch on to that sort of thing, and you can bring that into your fanfics and into your art and everything else. Is anyone here a fan of Sophie Cabra? No, no one. Oh.
Remind me.
She does the the thing that I really like is the Canterlot High Tumblr.
Yeah, I know what you were talking about, yeah.
Go look her up and search for Canterlot High on Tumblr. She takes all the characters. It's not Equestria Girls. She takes all the characters and puts them into like a high school setting and makes
like
them.
the Shining Armor Cadence comic.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very much like that comic, and she does an excellent job of capturing kind of the different details and all the little subtleties that the characters have. I was talking a little bit more about Spitfire earlier on, how she wants to be the best, but she's willing to be a little bit manipulative in doing it. And Sophie Cabra has this just excellent picture of Spitfire as the captain of the soccer team, and she's got her foot on the ball, and she's just kind of staring at you slyly, like she knows, I'm going to destroy you now. And so if you're an artist, I'd highly encourage you to check out some of her work. Very, very good at getting all those different moods and things, and it's always very consistent with the characters and the fan works from out in the community. How are we doing on time? Yeah, I do want to finish up talking a little bit about Philly Vanilli, because that is where we get our most recent just big Macintosh extravaganza of character development. The song that he sings right away in the episode. Anyone know the bass line? Something's in the air today. Sky is clear when you're feeling so fine. Everything's gonna be a-okay. And then the second verse was written basically just for him and Fluttershy. Every pony's saying you should learn to express your voice, but if talk doesn't seem like it's the answer, suddenly you have a choice. And it shows you that he's, even though his characters are quiet, they find a way to express themselves in other ways. And again, that just adds tons and tons of depth. So, minor character does kind of summarize everything. Supporting characters, they are excellent for highlighting other main characters. If you're writing a story or drawing a picture, feel free to throw in some minor characters there just to add a little bit of flavor to it. They can also, They can also have depth of personality of their own. They can be a great subject for writing and expanding on the world. They can lead us to go explore different areas of Equestria or different areas of the show or different relationships that we haven't seen before. And and they're really just full of surprises. Again, if you explore one of these background ponies or someone that doesn't have a lot of history behind them, who is anyone else to tell you that you're doing it the wrong way? You get to take these toys that Hasbro has provided with us, and that's what they are. These characters are toys for us to play with, and when you collect more and more of them, you get a better set and you can have so much more fun. And that's about all I had for my lecture portion. What do you guys think of minor characters? Do you guys want to chit chat? Who are your favorites? Let's start there. Hands in the back.
One thing that I think that would be wonderful for them to actually develop, I personally feel back in Tiara that something like that, but again, it seems to be very heavily implied, is that, yeah, she's a bully, but it's more she's the popular rich kid at school, and she feels intimidated by Appleton. That's why she keeps on harassing her and Crusaders, thus by extension, because she's the other important family at school, in fact, the more important family.
Daddy, why did they have to be more important than me?
That was perfect.
Spot on. Spot on.
And I would love if they explored that perhaps she has this insecurity going on in there. There's perhaps that's got to be going on.
Well, what about
the thing I
Silver
like,
Spoon?
the thing that I like,
Yes,
the thing that I like
yeah.
that they're hinting at is that it seems Diamond Tiara is just kind of dragging Silver Spoon along everywhere.
Yeah.
But yet she's not really, because if you, usually in a bully situation, you have your little henchman following in the background, and Diamond Tara, in normal circumstance, would be able to walk all over her, but it's been shown Silver Spoon does not take that. She fights back. She doesn't let Diamond walk all over her.
Yeah, the shake in the middle of the pinky song.
Yeah.
Well, I think again that's a marvelous example of some supporting characters showing off some of the strengths of the major characters. You've got the Cutie Mark Crusaders, a group of friends that are not necessarily very good at everything that they try to do, but they are at their core good ponies. You know, they're trying their best. They'd be nice to meet. And then you've got Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon, who are a group of friends who have grown perhaps too comfortable with their position and are willing to, you know, either, like I said, feel threatened by the fact that someone else might be enjoying life more than them, or that might be challenging their authority somewhat. And so, you know, you get to see that really cool interplay. I saw a hand back there. Yep.
I just want to say that this is another one that joined the group of the Bullies program, or
Babseed.
Yeah, I noticed when I was watching that episode 1 that Babsy, the reason she joins the Bullies is because she saw them bullying Appleboom and the rest of the Crusaders, and didn't want to get bullied. That's why she chose to join the Bullies, which in the end you find out when they sabotage the card so that they can make Babsy, so when Babsy gets in the card, you notice how it changes with when they find out about that the reason she joined the Bullies is that she was getting bullied.
Right, because she was getting bullied herself. Do you think real life is like that sometimes?
Yes.
Yeah, real
Yeah.
life.
Maybe other people are at home.
Right. It's a, you know, again, with these background ponies, just like in real life, we meet hundreds and hundreds of people every day. I think we're close to 1,000 people that have registered and shown up so far for a first-year convention. So, which is mind-blowing. But it shows us a market here. So yeah, I think Babseed is again a really good example of adding a lot of realism to a character that hasn't shown up that much. Question or comment over there?
Extension on that one. I and quite a few people, while we liked the episode, the way the moral was set up about defending yourself equals being a bully yourself, that was jump.
The morals in the show can sometimes be a bit.
You want to hate morals sometimes. You gotta remember it is specifically made for kids, so they kind of make the morals something.
Right.
But you can't really just force a moral. So
It seems like they have a great idea and put an episode together, and they're like, oh.
Bowling at that time to making fun of a disability and get away with it.
Yeah, they didn't mention a thing about that.
No, they indicated to her not being.
Well, true, but still.
All right. We've got a question over here. Yes.
Well, you talked about continuity a lot. What about Bon Bon's voice?
Changeling. I like that. I like that. I like that expression either. Yeah. Hand wave it away. That's what we say. You will occasionally. Yeah. Bon Bon's voice is absolutely an exception to that rule. I wish they had a little bit more. That one.
They just grab somebody out of the hallway and say, "Here, read these lines."
Right. 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 Now would be a shame if she always had the same voice. But I think part of that is just kind of a production reality. I agree that I wish they would try to keep it the same, but I think it was I think Andrea Libben was the voice of Fleetfoot in Rainbow Falls. Yeah, and she said that she was just basically pulled in one day and said, "Hey, you're doing Fleetfoot."
Well,
Okay.
and it's just only a couple lines.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't need to go off and try to get your hiring people and all that. You pull in, try to hire someone to do one line when, hey, you want to do one line? Okay.
Right. And there are actually rules within Voice Actors Guild where I think they can do a maximum of 3 characters per episode before they have to get additional compensation or something like that. So there's a lot of, so part of it is just, again, reality, they need to work with the unions and everything, and they just do what they can sometimes. But yeah, I feel your pain. I totally feel your pain. Other questions, comments?
I know one character in the episode, Sleeping Face, the one with Granny Smith.
Yep.
One of the background characters that really helped Applejack's case in the episode. I can't remember his name. He's the one who had the
Silver Shell.
Silver Shell, I think is what it is?
Shell, yeah.
Yeah, he really helped like Applejack's case in pushing her to realize that what she was doing was wrong, and like how he was like, oh, thanks to realize that you can lie to help people. I can feel better making this first bid or whatever it was,
Yep. That was another one that was the. Again, that's another example of you're taking a supporting character and helping Applejack work through something, but at the same time, Silver Shield got some growth too. He was a fundamentally different pony at the end than he was at the beginning. At first willing to go along with Flim Flam Brothers' scheme, and then saying, no. Now that you've actually dealt with them and they're running away, no, I'm not going to be with them anymore.
Kind of need the redemption.
Yep.
The Flim Flam Brothers, another brave. Kind of need to come back to have a redemption episode.
I agree.
Same thing with Trixie and
Trixie
Gilda.
definitely has to have another.
And Gilda.
There's going to be.
Gilda needs to come back.
I totally agree with that. There's a question here from someone who hasn't spoken yet.
Speaking of redemption episodes, first of all, can we count Queen Chrysalis as kind of she's not really background, but she's only been
She's a supporting character. Yeah.
With me, I kind of expect her like every season to like at some point maybe she'll come back. Like I don't. She's invaded Equestria once. Why is she gonna stop? Like if she failed once, I mean, I feel like she should come back like at least once.
Okay, so the question is about Queen Chrysalis. Why haven't we seen more of her? I'm gonna say again, that's a lot of the world building stuff. I would love to see where the changelings come from, where they go. But I would encourage you. I can't think of any specific examples, but that's always been a subject of. I've read a lot of fics about them, and there's some really cool stuff exploring kind of the relationship between. Right.
Badlands, like I personally wrote a fic where basically they're essentially like in a way jealous of like Equestria's purity, and like they want to, and they kind of. I don't know, they kind of want some of it, but they go about it in the wrong way.
Well, they also need to consume love to survive, so it's...
There's also that.
They just love each other.
I know.
When you kind of look at the situation, they're almost kind of not that evil in the situation. It was for them to survive.
Yeah, it's like a real last resort.
Yeah, it was more of like, the main reason she did it was because, well, we're having really hard times. Let's invade then, I guess.
See, this is the kind of discussion that it's really wonderful to have, even among yourself or among friends. I really encourage you at the rest of the con, if you've got some downtime, just strike up a conversation with someone about your favorite characters and things like that. You're going to discover a bunch of different ideas about different characters. I was talking to a guy yesterday named Aquatic Neon, whom I just met, and we ended up talking for like an hour about just background ponies and Thunder Lane, and I was talking about Diamond Rose and Lemony Gems and everything, and it was just. You learn a lot, and it gets you thinking, gets the gears turning.
Also, again, with some more Chrysalis stuff, information stuff, if we include the comic, apparently what Chrysalis is doing is strip mining the pony's ability for love, which of course limits the amount of love they can acquire, but of course, if we have it so that they can also feed on love given freely, then that's going to have another dynamic.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Viva la revolution!
Thank you. I think, did you have a comment?
You were mentioning before about world building and stuff like that. What would you want to see for world building in the universe?
Everything.
A globe map.
That was the part where I just there's actually a canon map of just Equestria.
Yes,
on
on the
the
globe.
Right.
It's a canon globe.
Right.
Or an atlas or something.
I kind of, the creative part of me actually says I don't want to see a whole globe-wide map, but sort of like I mentioned before, we have a lot of the races, a lot of different races other than ponies. I would love to see some of their homelands and some of the interactions. Or, for example, Saddle Arabia.
Yes.
The horses look completely different. These are they have dignitaries. seems like there's a lot of really cool cultural things, and I think in season 5, my fan dream is to, Twilight Sparkle's the new princess, and she's the princess of friendship, and she has to go on a world tour and meet all the different, all the different, leaders of different countries.
Other dignitaries from where? I can't remember. The season finale.
Oh yeah.
Once that she was there to smile and wave.
Yep, smile and wave.
Like, where's that?
So yeah, so that's some of what I would like to see, and I think Twilight could be a really good vehicle for that. What would you like to see?
Zeccora's homeland.
Zeccora's homeland, of course. Yes.
From all Buffy Griffin. Got it.
Comment in the back.
One thing that season 4 did that I really liked was the whole Flutterbat thing in the episode Bats. I want to see them explore that more, because if it happened to her, what's to say it couldn't happen to somebody else? Or better yet,
I want them to go with the
Or what about going back to season 2 and the bat ponies that were
Nightmare Night.
Yeah.
Thestrals, or however you pronounce it.
Yeah, Thestrals or something.
Yeah.
I want to see more.
I want to find out like how Luna's guards are the way they look.
Yep.
Is it a spell? Is it a mutation? Is it how they're bred?
They're different races.
And again, for it's until they make it canon, that's for us to explore. So yeah, take it with it. So you really like the bats thing. Do you? Also, the bats themselves are like a whole vampire subgenre. Are you thinking?
I like vampires.
Yep, there's some really old horror genre. There's a lot of really nice stuff. I'd love to see a kind of Bram Stoker style, My Little Pony crossover sometime.
But that might be a little much in the series.
In the series, right? I'm sorry. I should clarify. I mean, like more fan fiction, like on the fandom side. In the series, that'd be probably a bit much. Yeah.
Well, apparently the lore of zombies exists in at least equestrian fiction. Pinkie Pie mentions it. Zombie ponies.
Yeah. Spikes is great.
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe it's just comics.
Other comments from people maybe who haven't spoken up or want really, really badly to talk about their favorite pony but have been too afraid to. Yep.
I'm really wondering where the Diamond Dogs came from. Did they only
The Diamond Dogs.
Oh, yeah.
They think we have not even knowing of what they were.
Right. It's this entire underground culture with all these different. I'm wondering what they use what do they spend the gems on? If there's
I don't think they do. I think they just hoard them. Or they're like Spike.
Maybe they eat them.
Or they eat
Not
him.
as fast.
If they eat him, wow, that totally changes the dynamic of that episode. Ooh, wow.
Oh.
We need to.
That make her terrible.
They're like
More
dwarves.
food sources gone.
All our
See,
dwarves
I'm
are the
worried
same.
Spike is going to eat for all his cats.
Oh shit! Oh my god! Somebody did a comic on just that. Spike, stop eating
Well,
the
it's just gonna
tiles.
walk in and Spike's like licking the wall like,
Spike?
Yeah.
No.
Somebody did a comic on exactly.
Can we get maybe other comments about something else, something someone else wants to talk about, world building, minor characters?
From the back.
Action.
Yes, from the back somewhere. Lady with ponytail? I'm sorry, what was that? The main six family.
Families we have not seen yet.
Yep, we have not seen a lot of the families. We did get to see Rarity and Sweetie Belle's parents very, very briefly.
Yes.
In the Sisterhoods episode.
One parent.
Yeah.
It
was speculated that the pony next to them was Rainbow's mom.
But that's headcanon.
Yeah.
So it's not confirmed.
Yep. Yeah, I think I would agree. I would love to, meet some more of their family. I'd love to see Rarity's parents again. I thought it was really interesting when we did see Rarity's parents that they seemed so unlike her. Like the dad was just the dad with the football, with the dad with the bullet. Right, I was surprised. And like I said, with the minor characters, they can always surprise you with stuff. So, yeah, I would love to see some more of that. Who would you specifically like to see? Fluttershy's family. Yep.
Yeah. We have to
Oh
see
god.
take them.
Except for I can feel like be some sort of father that's like all into the Wonder Balls and stuff too.
Could be. I mean, I've always, whenever I think of Fluttershy, I've always kind of thought of her as like the Snow White type Disney princess almost. So she's got her animal friends, and those are her family. But I would love to see her biological family as well.
Or Scoodley's family.
Or Scoodley's.
Yes, Scoodley's.
I think we had another.
Orphan.
Everyone.
I think we had another comment in the back. No? All right. On the left here then. Yep.
Where did the para sprites go?
Oh yeah. What's their
Over into the next town. That's someone else's problem.
Actually, did he pilot them back into the other force where they came from?
No, I don't know
Of
how
course,
they
now everything is better than that.
If they're in the everything forest, it's just, a world of nightmares, and I'm sure all the different creatures take care of each other that way.
Except now, that's not really true anymore.
True. Yeah, I think the Parasprites, I really liked them as kind of a mini villain, because again, they were a little bit more nuanced, they were adorable, they weren't necessarily malicious, they were just following what was in their nature, and, Fluttershy just wanted to keep going.
I like how they utilized it.
I can't fault you for
Cerberus
that.
in the finale.
Yep. Yeah, that's another thing, is that all the other little creatures.
TRFan Scorpion. Show that.
TRFan Scorpion? Yeah.
Yeah, his brother. We didn't see him at all other than the
reference.
reference. Yeah.
Well,
That's how they came from Disneyland. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, interesting that you bring that up too, because in the how many of you guys have seen G1 and knew who Tyrek was from beforehand?
But I watched it was first video.
Yep, Tyrek and Scorpion were actually, I believe it was the very first My Little Pony episode ever. They were the villains in just the very first thing. So they've been there since the beginning, and seeing them. Except
that was really nice.
Except I think in the original Scorpion wasn't Tyrek's brother. He was like a servant or something. But it was But it's really cool to again see that throwback, see that continuity of just like, wow, there's all this stuff here that we can explore. So I'm not gonna say you should spend a lot of time watching G1 stuff, but if that interests you, you're gonna find some cool things. What do you guys think of the villains? Other villains that you'd like to see, other little nuances.
More background on Sombra.
More background in general.
Read the comics.
Yeah.
Oh, right, the current series.
Yep. I think we had a question or comment back there.
They need to bring sea ponies back.
Sea ponies. Read the comics.
I hope like in season 4, in season 5, in season 5, like, they won't just drop the fact that Discord turned on everyone in the finale. I hope he has to have some sort of road to recovery.
Right. Well, he doesn't get a throne.
Yeah, well,
So
and it's not just like, okay, you don't like it, it's over because you turned on us. I feel like there needs to be some...
there needs to be a...
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, guys, there was a follow-up question, or... Yeah, did you have a question about the sea ponies more, or...
No, I was just going to go on another thing, but...
Oh, okay, sure.
It's kind of like exploring more of the world, like, 'cause there is a canon map of Equestria, but that's all it shows. And, like, what I'd like to see is, like, at the end of the episode of when Chrysalis gets defeated, she's shown getting flung past the Badlands.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably where another country or kingdom is.
Mm-hmm.
What I'd like to see is, what if she were to somehow regain her power there, and then maybe take over that kingdom, and then maybe Twilight and Celestial and all them, they go and try to help out.
If you write it, I would love to edit that for you.
Yeah, but here's the thing about that, though. That was already in the comics. They took over a nation of cute little kittens.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep, that was the
them.
first arc, I think.
Actually, literally murdered one of the kittens in front of the CMC.
That got dark.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. So big recommendation if you guys want to. No, this is the official IDW comics. You can get bundles of, I think 4 of the. They aren't quite as much bound by what they can show on TV. It's not nothing like super dark. This isn't cupcakes.
Reference cupcakes, but.
But if you want to see get a little bit edgier, I would highly recommend the IDW comics. They are, I got into them recently. I think they're very good. Comment or question over here.
Speaking of a little edgier, do you think they're ever actually going to go to Tartarus, or is that more of a comic thing?
I think they've shown it.
They did show it in season 4.
I think they showed it in the recycling.
I think they've shown it enough, and they know that it's a.
I think you gotta look into the Greek myth.
People are apparently very passionate about Tartarus.
That's where it covers
In some ways, I don't. We've already seen it a couple times, and we've seen it mentioned. I don't think they would go there because on the show, I think it's a little bit too they're already kind of flirting with some of those concepts of hell and things like that, and I don't think they necessarily want to go there any more than they already have. I'd be sort of interested in it, but to me it seems like from the details we've gotten from it, it's just sort of a prison. So there might not be as much. There might not be as much storytelling in there that you could do with main six ponies in the thing. But again, fandom I would love to see expanded on. Someone has their hand up in the back.
I think what we really need to see more of is Star Swirl the Bearded.
Star Swirl the Bearded.
Yes. We did get to see the little traveling museum thing for like 2 seconds before Discord.
Before Discord.
Yeah.
Discord ruins everything.
But that's just Discord.
And I guess it's nice that I think that was the Star Swirl Beard kind of influenced the background of the G4 background, I guess, of Tyrion.
Oh,
yep.
What kind
Minor
of
character building.
Yep.
More on Princess Luna and Celestia.
Yeah, we'll get to that. I want to talk a little bit about Star Swirl again. I think Star Swirl's, I think he's excellent, and I love that it's something that they've been doing a little bit more, has been talking about the history of Equestria. There's tons of stuff to explore right now, but, Equestria's obviously, got thousands of years of history behind it. We got to see a little bit more of that in Testing 1, 2, 3, I think is the episode.
Yes.
Where we got to see the history of the Wonderbolts.
Yeah.
Yep, we got to talk with the EUP, with about the... So yeah, I would love to see more of Star Swirl the Bearded. I think it's, he's going to be a fascinating character, obviously a master of magic. We've seen that time spells exist, so I mean, it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility that he would show up someday.
Or that Twilight would somehow grant command sense through time.
When has Twilight's magic ever gone wrong before? Question over here.
I'm not sure anyone's going to agree with me on this, but I want to see a little bit more on Flash Sentry, personally.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Whatever it was where the episode with Discord.
Don't tell him about it.
I think with Flash Sentry, especially, it's cool that they can sort of, hint at those little relationships. I don't know that within the bounds of the show they're ever able to really develop that much, because they also do have a brand that they have to worry about, and
They at least have a friendship, at least,
Right, but I mean, the one time that they were able to do a wedding was with characters that we've never heard of before.
Yeah.
So they have to. I would love to see more of him. I'm gonna say kind of don't hold your breath, but I do hope we see him at least showing up with his coy little smile. Comment over here.
Yeah, another thing I'd like to see sort of fleshed out, well, this goes back to the background on Sombra, but how is the Crystal Empire, quote, an empire? It boiled down to a single city-state, which is now technically part of Equestria, since it was part of Equestria Games, which is with the stuff.
I think it was more of an earldom, maybe.
Must be united. That's the key.
The Griffins were at the Equestrian Games, which
Yes,
they're not
meaning
part
that
of
there's
Equestria, so.
There's a town with enough Griffins to send a team.
Or they came from there, and maybe Western Games
World Edition, yeah. Although we
It's just like you guys are somewhat, the show showed us, here's the that's within Equestria.
And that's one of the problems that I know that show writers and everything have. Because keep in mind, the show is written by so many different people. As you go on, it's easy to throw in details that are little hints at world building, but then as you go on and things get more and more complex and more details get revealed about minor characters, about locations, about some main characters, different interactions, politics, if it gets to that point, it gets harder to weave it together, and that's when you start to see some of the cracks and some of the details. And so eventually you just kind of have to roll with it, I think, and hope for more, and then fill in the details yourselves. Yep, comment or question.
Now that we've got the palace, we didn't see it in season 4, but Twilight's a princess. All the other princes have
Spoilers.
guards. And yeah, spoilers. All the other princesses have guards. Now that she has a palace, will she actually get her own guards, and how that would play out?
I saw a comic yesterday about that, and it was like Shining Armor comes line. It's like, so who are you gonna pick for your guards? It just leaps and Grabs on the Flash Sentry.
Yes. I think Twilight will just have like Minutemen from Pony.
That's it, Minutemen.
They'll just have a militia.
Other questions or comments from maybe again anyone who wants to talk about one of their favorite characters? We haven't talked about Vinyl Scratch yet very much, or Octavia, or Lyra, or Lyra. I had a friend named Lyra. Sorry.
Okay, forget that.
Talk to us about Lyra. Why is she an awesome pony?
Her fan made believe.
She wants hands.
I would take a look. That is a high quality plushie back there.
That's great. I don't know how. Oh, that's actually really good.
It's expensive.
Some people. Yeah.
So I guess the last, one of the last topics that I want to talk about is, and you can comment on this too. Why do you guys, if you're here, you obviously care and pay attention about.
Yes.
Hi, Lyra. Now I know how to pronounce your name correctly. You obviously care about these background ponies. You enjoy seeing them. What draws you to pay attention to these guys? Why do you identify them? Why do you like the ones that you like?
Must be their coloration.
Coloration, design, good enough reason. Yep.
To be quite honest, like one thing I like about the background ponies that are like never really expanded upon is because I kind of get the way I kind of understand about how they are is from fan fictions that I read. So like I've read like a few fan fictions on like Vinyl Scratch and Octavia, and I have them like in college. So the way I know them as they're like college brands,
Yep.
And like I kind of like them because I kind of like to view them in the canon show as I know them in fan fictions.
Yep. There's headcanon there. There's established history with other the media. Yep. Over here.
What do the background ponies do in the show?
What was that?
Like the background ponies do while we're watching the show, like for that one time example when Derpy was leading that chocolate fountain.
Yeah. Or you have like Berry Punch who just sneaks a drink from the quinceañera, and suddenly that's a whole character thing.
Yeah,
Right.
Lyra with her sitting strangely on a bench.
Right, and so I totally agree. Like the fact that they just do things is phenomenal because we get people paying attention. Yep, right here.
Well, that kind of explains it. The background characters draw attention to themselves. They don't do things exactly. They have like Lyra,
They're characters.
obviously jumping up and down.
They just don't stand there.
Yeah, they're not staff.
Right. Another. We're gonna do some more quick comments. Yep.
To me, there's a lot of creative people who like the background pony is something that's official in the show and it's children's book. Anybody can build, and it becomes something that is made by the community that the community itself can attach to.
Exactly. Yes. That is you are now the poster child for going and trying out new things with minor characters. I totally agree. You've got all these characters here that have some details, enough to go on, enough to give them a personality, and you can just go nuts with them and do really cool things, explore different parts of Equestria, meet other characters. It's wonderful, wonderful way to get creative. That is a fantastic costume.
I just wanted to expand on what you said. It actually makes since the background ponies give you that little bit to work on, the same thing that makes them so great for headcanon and fan work also makes them brilliant for marketing.